We are stopping at the Red Rooster Cafe in Mineral Point. We're gonna have ourselves a pastie.
Yeah, it's a pastie. Pasties are worn by ladies. Pasties are eaten by men.
What about a pastie? Pasty pasty.
That's an innovation waiting to be made.
We got some roosters here. Oh, look, it's on the historic places. Inside decor. I got the top and bottom crusted pasty. Nate got the fully encrusted pasty. It's very good.
Delicious.
Delicious. And there's the delicious bread pudding we're going to be devouring. Nate's already started on his.
Oh yeah. It's not gonna last long.
But after a delicious pasty here at the Red Rooster Cafe in Mineral Point, we are finishing up with some delicious bread pudding. This is downtown Mineral Point.
There is a car coming.
And there is a car coming. I suppose I should get out of the road. There's something I see that's kind of interesting here. Again, the wind. The wind, very windy. Special holiday beer. I never saw a sign like that.
Never have.
We just had lunch there at the Red Rooster. Very good pasties and bread pudding. If you are ever in the Mineral Point area, stop at the Red Rooster Cafe. It was very good. Now these buildings here, it's a very old historical district. Oh look, the Chamber of Commerce, which is this building right here, was once the old Mineral Point firehouse. It was built in 1900. There are some scary looking people. Oh, Mining the Miner. Mining the Mineral by Rob Edge. I don't know if you can see them. There they are. Mining the Mineral. Our Cornish heritage. Starting in the 1830s, immigrants from the Red Rooster area of Cornwall came to Mineral Point, bringing their unique Cornish identity, customs, and skills. From architecture to zinc mining, the Cornish left their imprint here. Cornish miners and their descendants helped develop the area's lead, copper, and zinc mines. A miner is featured on the Wisconsin state flag. Yes, that's true. Cornish stonemasons left behind examples of their craft in Mineral Point in the area. Cornish men and women brought a passion for music, and with other ethnic groups excelled in community bands and church choirs. Cornish pasty, saffron cake, and figgy hobbin. So bring us your figgy hobbin. Are culinary Cornish transplants. These historical and cultural connections continue today. And Nate and I just said, pasties, pasty.
Oh, please no poop or pee on the grass.
Yeah, kids. See?
No wait, no, the dogs I think are not.
Oh, I thought the kids aren't supposed to poop or pee in the grass. Oh, okay.
Some more signs. Some more signs with information. Signs without information are generally useless.
Signs without. So this is Mineral Point, Wisconsin, the most Cornish town in the USA.
They are twinned with Red Rooster, Cornwall, UK.
Yes. Twinned with. I like how they're at the back of the park, so nobody sees it.
Make sure you get the Miller Lite bottle on there. Cornwall would be proud.
So this here is the Mineral. Saw that. This is the Mineral Point Opera House and Library, built in 1913, and is also on the historic landmark registry. Now apparently a lady in 2019 was in this area, and she looked across the street and she saw on top of one of these buildings, she thought it was a gargoyle, but it turned out to be real. It was about 6.5 feet tall. It had a wingspan of about 20 feet. She said she saw it get up. After it had made eye contact with her, it got up and it kind of disappeared. Looked like it was going to start taking off and just kind of disappeared. I don't know where exactly she saw that, but apparently, according to the story, it is across from the Mineral Point Opera House. So I don't know. You be the judge.
You know, August Derleth lived in this general area for a long time. He's the guy who took over the Cthulhu mythos for Lovecraft, and he said that the Driftless region had real Cthulhu energy, so maybe he saw one of those things himself, huh?
Possibly. It says here on July 4th, 1836, here in Mineral Point, Colonel Henry Dodge took the oath of office to become the first governor of the newly created territory of Wisconsin. This territory, previously attached to Michigan, embraced the vast and important area of what is now the states of Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, and portions of North and South Dakota.
Holy! The wind nearly blows us to.
Yeah, I'm saying. Wow. That's a neat old building. I wonder what the date is on that one.
Not sure. It looks like it's someone's house. Yeah.
It almost looks like it could be a mid-1800s kind of. Here we go around the Mulberry Pottery. I like this downtown setup though. Very old, rustic. That's quite the hike right there, let me tell you. When parents said I used to walk uphill both ways to school in the snow, that's walking uphill. Not both ways, but it's walking uphill. Apparently this is the site of Old Fort Jackson. In June of 1832, an alarm spread throughout the mining region that Black Hawk and his band were on the march north from Illinois. Hastily built stockades were erected throughout the lead region. Fort Jackson was built on this site using vertically placed logs arranged in a square that enclosed cabins housing the garrison and their families. Two-story blockhouses fitted with gun ports were installed on the southeast and northwest corners. Fort Jackson served mainly to distribute military supplies during the Black Hawk War and was dismantled shortly thereafter. That's a bummer. So that is the site of Fort Jackson.
Yeah.
Hey! Hey! The truck that went by that had hay on it.
Oh,
Oh, come on, Nate.
I didn't see the truck.
There's the Mineral Point Opera House City Hall. Found one of these in Ripon, and they have one in Mineral Point as well. And Franklin, 5 and dime. They're not open today. So this is the side of Mineral Point we haven't walked up, and we're not walking up because we need to get in the car, go to our next spot called the Walker House. I love that sound.
The babbling brook.
A babbling brook. I don't like Brooke when she babbles, but I like the babbling brook. So we are still in Mineral Point, J. Nathan Couch and I, and we are at the Walker House. This building was built in 1836 and currently, believe it or not, is a bed and breakfast. But there's been some paranormal activity reported in this building. And if Nate, you want to tell them all about it, go ahead.
My source here is a book called Driftless Spirits by Dennis Boyer. And one of the ghosts here, apparently there are numerous ones in the area that congregate at the Walker House. But the most famous one is William Caffey, a man who inexplicably murdered his friend in 1842. He was remorseless about it and was a pretty horrible person as they took him to the gallows. And he slams things around, appears both as an old man or a little boy, sometimes as a mutilated corpse or a floating cloud. And he enjoyed particularly tormenting attractive young women who work here. A quote in this book says that the younger and prettier they were, the worse it was, as Caffey yanked their ponytails, snapped their elastic, presumably on their undergarments, and gave them indecent tickles.
Ooh. So hear that, ladies? If you want a little... No, I'm just kidding. If you want to come to the Walker House, hey! Now, they claim to have the largest selection of pasties. And they have a menu, so we'll be the judge of that, because we just had a pretty darn good pasty at the Red Rooster Cafe. So let's see what it says here. Wow, they do. They've got a chicken pasty, gluten-free beef, your classic Cornish, which is what we had.
Oh, something about a chicken pasty seems unwholesome.
Salmon pasty.
Ooh, that's... No wonder there's ghosts here attacking people. If I had to smell a salmon, if I had to smell a salmon pasty, I'd be ransacking the place too.
I wonder if they grow their own herbs out here in the summertime.
It certainly looks like it.
It does.
Yeah,
there's it says the Walker House 1836. Who's that in the window up there? No, I'm just kidding. That sign right there says the mineral was first discovered here in the early 1820s. It's too bad we're not allowed to trespass, but there's a big smokestack right back there.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I wonder what that used to be.
Don't know.
I just read here that there was a bunch of... used to be a place near a brewery around here. They had a shack that hobos used to congregate in, and their bodies were found floating in water around here without any explanation as to who killed them. And apparently just up the way here on Liberty Street, supposedly you can hear the ghosts of the hobos playing harmonicas.
It says art, architecture, ambience and diversity. And there's a turtle. There's a little free library. Oh, he's a Bears fan. Oh. He's got putts or pits with Jay Cutler choking him. You know, if I remember correctly, I don't think Jay Cutler ever beat the Packers. But wishful thinking.
I don't think Jay Cutler beat many people.
Wishful thinking. Ooh, what the? That looks like some kind of Polynesian. That's a creepy looking turtle. Turtle wolf spider with horns and
or those are ears, maybe.
Crazy eyes. Oh yeah.
There's a Bigfoot.
There's Mothra when she was little. And here's Dinosaur Bill eating a fish. It's got all sorts of stuff. Howdy, partner.
I was looking at the map, and I think this creek that goes by the Walker House is the creek where you hear the hobo harmonica.
Apparently somebody was hung on the property. We don't know exactly where.
William Caffey, the indecent tickler.
William Caffey, you indecent tickler, you.
Supposedly his grisly request for his last meal was a raw slice of Judge Jackson's liver. So he wanted to eat his trial judge's liver for his last meal before they hanged him. And again, he's that rascal.
Was that request honored?
I don't think so. But that's that rascal who torments everyone here at the Walker House.
Walker House, there it is. Had no idea it'd become a bed and breakfast. right, we got one more stop here, Mineral Point. We're gonna head that way now. Now we are in Graceland Cemetery in Mineral Point, Wisconsin, and something really weird happened here in 1981. Now back in 1981, there was a police officer who was out on duty, just kind of driving around, when he kind of noticed a gentleman that looked about 6'5".
Yeah, 6'5", a
pale
person, yeah, black cape.
Black cape.
White painted face and ugly.
White painted face and ugly. Apparently, he kind of was watching him and stuff, and it ended up being a foot pursuit.
Yeah, he has to figure what it was doing. It turned and ran, and the officer chased it. Apparently, the man leapt over a 4-foot fence at the edge of the cemetery, like this fence behind us, I suppose. I assume this is still the same fence they had in 81, something like it.
Which, I mean, if this was the type of fence, this would have been hard as heck to jump over. If this was up here,
yeah, you'd have to grab onto this, jump up, get your feet on this, and scale it. I don't know if it happened near the gate or if it happened farther back in the cemetery.
I'm kind of wondering if he jumped over the gate, this part here. I'm guessing it's this gate here. So all he would have to do is,
well, actually,
I mean, if he's really athletic, get a foot up here. And
according to the article I'm reading, it was a 4-foot fence at the edge of the cemetery into an adjacent cow pasture, which there are fields behind us, so maybe it was at the back of the cemetery.
Okay, now again, this happened in 1981. This is like 41 years ago. Things might have changed a little bit.
I mean, I don't know where the altercation took place. I don't know if the policeman met him at the back of the cemetery or if he met him near the front. Because there is a fence here that goes into a pasture. So maybe he ran this way or that way.
The problem is with this particular police officer is that he likes to pull pranks.
Yeah, Officer John Pepper, I believe his name.
John Pepper. And he would, you know, go around with like costumes on and scare people. And, you know, when he started telling people about this vampire that he saw, you know, the Boy Who Cried Wolf scenario kicked in, and people were just kind of like, oh yeah, okay, John's talking out of his butt again. He's, you know, just another joke from John. And he got so frustrated that he ended up moving because nobody believed him. He was like, this is what I saw. And there have been other reports.
Yeah, I think one of
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think one of the more modern reports was 2008 by Lake Ludden, where these two young people were hanging out on a dock, and they heard something climbing around upside down on the dock underneath them, and they got to look at it. It resembled the Mineral Point vampire reports. I think other reports claimed this jumped out of trees and startled people, landed on their backs, but it's never actually bitten anyone or exhibited any vampire-like behavior. It's just looks like a weird, ugly Bela Lugosi Nosferatu thing. But there's
kind of like
reports.
This guy coming up here.
Oh my God! But apparently it just scares people for the most part, and no reported attacks.
So we're guessing he chased him into this area and he took off that way. And that is the Mineral Point vampire. So Mineral Point, you got some pretty interesting paranormal stuff going on.
Hobo ghosts and vampires and pervy poltergeists.
And stews.
Mulligan stew, Phantom Mulligan stew, which sounds good right about now.
All right. So we are continuing our journey through Southwestern Wisconsin, and for this episode, this will be the end of the Mineral Point episode, folks. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting. Thank you all for subscribing. And until next time, Jay the Couch.
Bye everyone.
I'm Yogi, and I'm out of here.